Welcome to the Deep Dive Cast. This is where we unpack the world's most impactful business and self-help bestsellers. Get ready to go beyond the pages and transform your life. Let's dive in.
Have you ever found yourself, caught in that cycle? You decide you're going to make a huge change, lose weight, write that book, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. Total transformation time.
Right. And you start with all this motivation, this fire, but it often just kind of dwindles, doesn't it? Why does lasting change feel so monumental? Like it needs some heroic action.
Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. Welcome to the Deep Dive. We've got a stack of sources here on James Clear's Atomic Habits, and our mission is basically to unpack that feeling.
Yeah, why lasting change feels so hard and how maybe, just maybe, these tiny little shifts can actually unlock some pretty remarkable results. Enduring ones.
It's fascinating because Clear's main idea really pushes back against that go big or go home thinking.
Yeah.
He literally says, success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations.
Which is such a shift from the usual all-or-nothing approach, right?
Totally. And he has this startling math to back it up. Get just 1% better each day for a year, and you're not 365% better, you're almost 37 times better.
Wow. Okay, that's the compound interest idea he talks about, isn't it?
Exactly. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. It just builds and builds.
It feels almost counterintuitive. You expect this straight line, but he's showing it's a curve that just skyrockets eventually. It gives you permission to start small, which feels way less intimidating than all that hustle culture pressure.
Definitely. And, to really get his method, you kind of have to look at where it came from. His own story is, well, it's powerful proof.
Yeah, tell us about that. It wasn't just an idea he had. It came from something pretty intense.
Oh, incredibly intense. In high school, a baseball bat incident. Struck right between the eyes. We're talking broken nose, shattered bone behind the nose, fractured eye sockets, multiple seizures, medically induced coma. Just devastating.
Good grief. That sounds absolutely horrific. And the recovery, 9 months without driving, physical therapy, just to walk straight, double vision.
Right. And he even got cut for their baseball team. Everything big was sort of stripped away.
So he had to focus small. Is that the idea?
Pretty much. He was forced to focus on tiny, consistent things, like a fixed bedtime, making his bed every day, solid study habits, small strength exercises. Nothing heroic, just small wins.
But they compounded.
6 years after that injury, he was the top male athlete at his university, academic All-America. His whole experience taught him, and this is his quote, changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you're willing to stick with them for years.
Wow. So his life literally proved his philosophy before he even wrote it down in a way.
Yeah, and you see it again in how he built his audience, right? He just consistently put out articles on his website for like 3 years, built up 200,000 subscribers before the book.
That's amazing. The system built the audience for the book about systems. Okay, so let's talk about the name Atomic Habits. Atomic. It makes you think tiny, like an atom, but also like atomic bomb, powerful. Was that intentional?
That's exactly it. He picked it for that dual meaning. Tiny, like atoms, are the basic building blocks, fundamental units, but also immense power, like atomic energy. These tiny habits are the building blocks that unleash incredible force when combined.
Okay, I like that. Tiny but mighty.
Right. And that leads to something really crucial if you're trying to stick with things. The plateau of latent potential.
Ah, yes. The valley of disappointment. I think we've all lived there.
Probably. It's that frustrating bit where you're putting in the effort, but you don't see the results yet. Like an ice cube warming up. 25 degrees, 26 up to 31, still ice. Then boom, 32 degrees, it starts melting.
All that important work was happening unseen, below the surface. You just needed to trust the process.
Exactly. And trusting that process connects to maybe the most disruptive idea in the book. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Okay, that one really makes you stop and think. Goals versus systems. Break that down for us. Why are systems more powerful?
Well, goals are the results you want, right? Win the race, write the book. Systems are the processes that get you there. Your training schedule, your writing routine.
Okay.
Clear says systems win because, well, first, goals alone don't make winners. Lots of people have the same goal. Second, achieving a goal is just momentary. Clean your room, great. But if you don't fix the system of being messy, it just gets messy again.
Ah, right. The underlying habit.
Exactly. And third, goals can actually restrict your happiness. Like, I'll only be happy when I reach this goal. That makes the whole process miserable.
So shift the focus from the outcome to the doing.
Yes, fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. He calls it goalless thinking, focusing on that cycle of just getting a little bit better, continuously improving, falling in love with the process itself.
Okay, so to recap quickly, we've looked at that amazing power of just 1% better daily. James Clear's own incredible story, the atomic idea, small and powerful, that frustrating but necessary plateau, and this huge shift, systems over goals.
A really solid foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, for you listening, here are maybe 2 atomic steps to think about this week. First, identify your 1% improvement, just one tiny habit you want. How can you make it literally 1% easier or better today?
Like read 1 extra page, do 1 push-up instead of 0, drink 1 more glass of water. The aim is just starting. Initiation.
Exactly. And second, shift from goal to system. Take a big goal you have, writing a book, running a marathon, whatever. Reframe it.
So instead of, I want to write a book, maybe it's, I will write 200 words every morning. Instead of run a marathon is, I will put on my running shoes and just step outside after work. Focus on that process. Try to fall in love with showing up.
Great takeaways. So we have this foundation now, this philosophy, but how do we actually, do it day to day?
Well, that's where the 4 laws come in.
Perfect lead in. In our next deep dive, we'll get practical and explore the very first of those 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious. We'll look at how to actually design your environment to make those good habits almost impossible to ignore.
Okay, ever find yourself just standing in front of the fridge and you have absolutely no idea why you even opened it?
Oh, totally. Or, you suddenly realize you've been scrolling through TV channels for 5 minutes, remote in hand, but you didn't consciously decide to do it.
Exactly. And those moments, well, they aren't really about willpower failing, are they?
Not at all. James Clear argues they're the result of this invisible force. It's your environment, basically. It acts like this invisible architect.
An invisible architect. I like that. Kind of building your habits without you even noticing sometimes.
Precisely. Without your permission or even your awareness a lot of the time.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Last time, we got into Clear's core idea, that incredible power of just getting 1% better each day. Small changes compounding.
Yeah, that compounding effect is huge. And today, we're tackling the very first of his 4 laws of behavior change. It's foundational. Make it obvious.
Right. And our mission today, really, is to show you how the most, let's say, disciplined people aren't necessarily heroes of willpower.
No, they're actually masters of designing their environment. So by the end of this, you'll hopefully have some tools to become the architect of your world.
Making good habits, well, almost effortless. And the bad ones really hard to stumble into.
Exactly. Making the good path the easy path.
Okay, so let's get into it. If the environment's this architect, how do we even start to see the blueprints? How do we see what it's actually building in our day-to-day?
Well, Clear says it starts with understanding the habit loop itself, the mechanics of any habit.
Right, the 4 steps.
Yeah, the cue, that's the trigger.
Yeah.
Then the craving, the desire. Then the response, the action itself. And finally, the reward, the satisfaction you get.
And the cue.
Mm-hmm.
That's the starting gun, isn't it? Without that initial trigger, the whole process just doesn't kick off.
Exactly. No cue, no habit. Simple as that.
So where do these cues actually come from? Clear points out 5 main types that are always kind of influencing us. What are they?
Okay, so think about time, like your 7 a.m. alarm clock, boom, cue to get up. Or location you walk into the kitchen, maybe you automatically reach for a snack.
Then there's a preceding event. Your phone buzzes cue to check it. Your emotional state, feeling stressed, might be a cue to, I don't know, eat chocolate or something.
Yeah, definitely relate to that one.
And the last one, which is really powerful, is other people. You see your friends ordering drinks and suddenly you want one too. It's social cueing.
What gets me is how much of this is running on autopilot. Totally unconscious.
Absolutely. Which brings up that Carl Jung quote, Clear uses. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Powerful stuff.
It really is. So the first step isn't about mustering more willpower.
No, not at all. It's just about awareness. Like using what Clear calls a habit scorecard. Just listing out your daily actions, good and bad, no judgment. That act alone starts making the invisible visible. It's step 1 to taking back control.
Okay, so once we start seeing these cues, we can actually begin to, consciously design our environment. This leads to that big idea. Motivation is overrated, environment often matters more. Yes. And this is so liberating, I think. We beat ourselves up thinking, oh, I just don't have enough discipline.
Right. I failed again.
But Clear flips it. He says, look, the people who seem disciplined, they aren't constantly battling temptation with sheer willpower. They've just structured their lives so they don't have to.
They've engineered their environment so the good habits are just easier. The path of least resistance leads to success.
Exactly that. Success becomes the default, almost.
So how do we actually do that engineering? How do we make the cues for good habits obvious and the cues for bad habits invisible?
Okay, so for good habits, it's about visual cues. Put the fruit bowl right there on the counter where you can't miss it. Lay out your workout clothes the night before right next to your bed. Make the cue unavoidable.
Makes sense. And for bad habits?
It's the opposite. Make the cue invisible. If you always grab junk food, don't have it in the house. Simple, but effective. Charge your phone in another room overnight, not by your bed.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
It actually works.
It really does. Adding friction, making it harder to even start the bad habit, that breaks the chain.
And he mentions an advanced technique too. One space, one use. What's that about?
Ah, yeah. This is powerful. Basically, you rigidly associate one location with one specific task. Your bed is only for sleeping, not for scrolling on your phone or watching TV. Your desk is only for working.
Like mise en place for your life, sort of. Setting up your space primes your brain.
Exactly. The environment itself holds the intention for you. You walk over to your desk, your brain already starts shifting into work mode because that's the only thing that happens there.
Okay, so that's shaping the physical space. What about shaping our routines? He talks about habit stacking.
Yes. This is brilliant because it leverages habits you already have. It's like neuroscientific hijacking in a good way.
Huh. I like that. So what's the formula?
Super simple. After I current habit, I will new habit. You're anchoring the new behavior you want to an established one.
Can you give an example?
Sure, like after my morning coffee finishes brewing, I will meditate for 1 minute. Or while the shower water is warming up, I will do 30 seconds of stretching.
So you're using the completion of one habit as the immediate cue for the next one.
Precisely. You build these little chains. It dramatically reduces the activation energy needed to start the new habit because you're already in motion. It builds momentum almost automatically.
Wow. So when you put it all together, building better habits isn't really about some heroic internal struggle.
Not primarily, no. It's much more about becoming a conscious designer, an architect of your daily life through these principles, environmental design, and habit stacking.
It comes back to that quote, doesn't it? You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
That's the core truth right there. Design better systems, make the cues obvious, and your desired outcomes become much more likely. Almost inevitable sometimes.
Okay, fantastic. Before we wrap up, let's give everyone listening 2 really concrete actions they can take, like today.
Good idea. First, implement just one habit stack. Think of a tiny new habit you want, maybe just 10 squats, and decide when you'll do it by linking it to something you already do. Write it down. After I brush my teeth tonight, I will do 10 squats.
Simple, specific. And the second action.
Optimize one tiny part of your environment, right now or right after this. Want to read more before bed? Go put a book on your pillow. Find yourself mindlessly eating chips. Move that bag right now, maybe to the highest shelf, or even out to the garage. Make the bad cue invisible or the good cue obvious.
Brilliant. Small steps, big impact potential. Make it obvious.
Make it obvious. That's the foundation.
But okay, what if you do all this? You make the cue obvious, you stack the habit, but it still feels like a chore. You know you should, but you just don't want to do it.
Well, that leads us perfectly into the next law, because making it obvious is only step 1.
So next time, we're diving into the second law. Make it attractive. How to actually make yourself want to do those good habits.
Exactly. How to tap into your brain's reward system to make the right thing feel good should be a good one.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So last time we covered getting 1% better, and that first law, make it obvious, right? Designing your space.
Exactly. Setting up those cues.
But here's something I bet you've wondered. Why is collapsing onto the sofa for Netflix so, well, easy, but hitting the gym feels like climbing a mountain? It's usually not about pure willpower, is it? It feels more like the good habits just aren't appealing enough.
That's precisely it. And that brings us right to the second law of behavior change. Make it attractive. Our mission today, to become, you could say, architects of desire. We want to engineer our habits so they feel genuinely irresistible.
I like the sound of that. So talk about the brain's motivation system, maybe some specific tricks, leveraging other people.
All of that. We'll get into the dopamine loop, a really neat strategy called temptation bundling, the power of your social circles, and even how to just reframe the habits in your own mind.
Excellent. Let's dive in. Where do we start? The brain.
Let's start with dopamine. People often call it the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. It's more like the motivation chemical.
Okay.
It's what drives your desire to act. When dopamine rises, so does your motivation. James Clear calls this the dopamine-driven feedback loop. It's fundamental.
Right.
But here's the kicker, the really crucial insight. Dopamine often spikes more when you anticipate a reward, not just when you actually get it.
Ah, okay. So like the ding of a text message before you read it. Or smelling cookies before you eat them.
Exactly like that. Or the gambler's thrill before the cards are turned. Your brain, it turns out, has way more circuitry dedicated to wanting rewards than to actually liking them. We're wired for the chase.
So motivation isn't just this passive thing. If your brain predicts a reward is coming, boom, you feel motivated.
Precisely. And if you can make that prediction reliable for a good habit,
You can basically manufacture motivation for things like exercise or saving money. The challenge is boosting that anticipation.
exactly. Which leads us nicely to our first practical strategy, temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling. Sounds intriguing.
It's brilliantly simple, really. You pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. It builds on something called Premack's principle, essentially, using a high probability behavior to reinforce a low probability one.
Okay, so you link the fun thing to the necessary thing, like that student Ronan Byrne, right?
Yeah,
He hacked his exercise bike, so Netflix only played if he was cycling fast enough.
that's a classic example. Or Professor Katie Milkman's research, she found people were, 29 to 51% more likely to hit the gym if they could only listen to their favorite audiobooks while working out.
Right, that makes sense.
It's super effective for those habits that feel important but not urgent. You know the ones. Your brain loves immediate rewards, so you give it one by bolting the want onto the need.
And you mentioned combining this with habit stacking from the first law.
Absolutely. So your stack could be 1. After I pour my morning coffee existing habit, I will write down one thing I'm grateful for, new, needed habit. 2. After I write down my gratitude, I will read the news, the want reward.
Or maybe only listen to your absolute favorite podcast while folding the laundry.
Perfect. The need becomes the gateway to the want. Your brain starts to associate the chore with the treat.
Okay, strategy 1, temptation bundling. Got it. What's next?
Next up is leveraging the power of your tribe, the social current. One of our deepest human needs is belonging. And we tend to imitate the habits of 3 main groups.
3 groups. Okay, who are they?
First, the close. Family, friends, colleagues. Their habits rub off on us significantly. Second, the many. The broader culture, what's considered normal. As Claria puts it, we'd often rather be wrong with the crowd than right by ourselves.
That's depressingly true sometimes. And the third?
But powerful. People we admire or look up to, celebrities, mentors, leaders. We imitate those we aspire to be like.
So the takeaway here is consciously choose your tribe.
That's the golden rule. Join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. Want to read more? Join a book club. Want to run? Join a running group. It's not just about external pressure either. It actually helps solidify a new identity in your own mind. When everyone around you runs, it's easier to start thinking, yeah, I am a runner. The group reinforces who you want to become.
Right, the environment shapes the identity. Okay, powerful stuff. We've got bundling, social influence. What's the third strategy?
The third is all about your internal world, the mindset makeover. How attractive a habit feels isn't fixed. It's largely your interpretation. And you can change that interpretation.
What do you mean? Like telling yourself broccoli is delicious.
Maybe not quite that far. But it's about reframing. A simple but profound shift is changing the language you use from I have to I get to.
Ah, okay, so instead of, ugh, I have to go for a run.
I get to build my endurance today, or I get to clear my head. Instead of I have to save money, think I get to build financial freedom for my future. See the difference? It shifts the focus to the benefit, the opportunity.
Yeah, it definitely feels different. More positive, less like a chore.
Exactly. You're priming your brain to anticipate the positive outcome. And one other quick mindset tip. Create a motivation ritual. Do something you genuinely enjoy right before a difficult habit.
like listening to one upbeat song right before starting a work task.
Perfect. It's like Pavlov's dogs.
Hmm.
Soon, the enjoyable ritual itself starts to trigger the anticipation and motivation for the habit that follows. You build a positive association.
Okay, so let's recap the tools for making habits attractive. We've got temptation bundling, pairing wants with needs, leveraging social influence by finding your tribe,
Right.
and the mindset makeover, reframing with I get to, and using motivation rituals.
Those are the key strategies.
So for you listening, here are a couple of actionable things to try. First, create your first temptation bundle. We've got a worksheet in the show notes, the Temptation Bundling Creator. Pair something you want with something you need to do.
Give it a shot.
Second, find a supportive community. Just take one small step, maybe check out a relevant subreddit, a Facebook group, or look for a local club. We also have a social influence map worksheet to help you think about this.
And remember the big picture here. You're not just a victim of your impulses. You really can be the architect of your desires. You can design systems like making habits obvious and attractive to make change easier.
It's about making it more enjoyable to become the person you want to be.
Exactly.
Thank you. This has been incredibly insightful. Next time, we tackle maybe the biggest hurdle, sheer effort.
Ah, yes, the third law.
Join us for our next deep dive as we explore Make It Easy and the amazingly effective 2-minute rule. You really won't want to miss that one. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something I think affects, well, pretty much everyone. It's this idea of the law of least effort. It's not just about being lazy, apparently. It's more about how our brains are just wired, to find the easiest way.
That's exactly right. And our mission here is to figure out how these little obstacles, this friction, can mess with your plans. And more importantly, how you can basically design your surroundings, become an architect for your habits.
Architect for your habits. I like that.
Yeah. We're pulling a lot from James Clear's Atomic Habits, looking at how to make good habits almost automatic and make the bad ones a real pain.
Okay, so this law of least effort,
Yeah.
it does sound a bit like we're just designed to take shortcuts. Is that the whole story, or is there something like evolutionary going on?
Oh, it's definitely evolutionary. It's not laziness, it's pure brain efficiency. Our brains use a ton of energy, right? So they're always looking for ways to save it. Think about it, thousands of decisions every day.
Wow, thousands.
Yeah, estimates are around 35,000. Each one costs a little energy. So our brain naturally automates, looks for the easy path. It's just smart energy management, really.
That totally reframes discipline then.
Yeah.
We look at disciplined people and think they've got amazing willpower.
Right.
But maybe they're just better at this, at setting things up so the easy path is the good path.
You've got it. They aren't necessarily willpower tanks. They're brilliant environmental architects. They get this principle, maybe instinctively, and they structure their lives around it. So it shifts things from, oh, I lack willpower to, okay, how can I fix my environment?
That makes so much sense. I mean, I've felt that friction without knowing the word, like wanting to read at night if the book wasn't right there, maybe downstairs.
Yeah.
That tiny extra step, often that was enough. Didn't happen.
Exactly. That's friction. A barrier. Big or small, doesn't matter. Gym too far away. Friction. Healthy food buried in the fridge.
Yeah.
These little things just quietly derail us. So the trick is to prime your environment. Make good habits easy. Put the workout clothes out. Chop the veggies ahead of time. Put that book on your pillow.
Huh. Okay, on the pillow. Got it. And the reverse works too, right? Make bad habits harder.
Absolutely. Increase the friction for things you want to avoid. Want to watch less TV. Maybe unplug it after use. Hide the remote.
Ooh, hiding the remote. That's devious.
Or delete those social media apps off your phone, having to log in through a browser. That extra step or two gives you a pause. It's like your present self doing a favor for your future self who might be tired or tempted.
A favor for your future self. I like that framing. Okay, but what about starting something new? That initial push can feel huge.
Ah, yes. That's where the 2-minute rule comes in, James Clear's idea. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do.
2 minutes, that sounds almost too easy.
Well, that's the point. It's not about the big result right away. It's about mastering the simple act of showing up. You standardize the beginning of the habit first, then you can optimize it later.
Okay, so like, instead of read before bed, it's read one page.
Exactly. Or do 30 minutes of yoga becomes just take out the yoga mat.
Take out the yoga mat.
Okay.
These are like gateway habits, tiny actions that just get you started on the right path. It seems small, but doing it consistently builds momentum.
And I guess each time you do it, even for 2 minutes, it reinforces something.
It reinforces your identity.
Yeah.
Every time you read that one page, you're casting a vote for, I am a reader. Every time you take out the mat, I am someone who does yoga. These tiny wins build belief.
That connects to decision fatigue too, doesn't it? Making things easy matters because we only have so much mental energy.
Precisely. Willpower is finite. Every choice drains it. What to wear, what to eat, which email. By evening, you're running low, more likely to make impulsive choices or just give up.
Yeah, I feel that.
But habits, automatic habits, they don't drain willpower like that. They run in the background, freeing up your mind for bigger things.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the ultimate friction reducer, automation.
Like setting things up once to run forever. Exactly. One-time decisions that lock in good behavior. Automatic savings transfers. A coffee maker that starts itself. Using website blockers during work hours.
Removing the TV from the bedroom, maybe?
That's a big one. But yeah, it automates not watching TV in bed. Though, we have to be careful. Tech automates bad habits too. Think Netflix autoplay.
Oh, yeah. Way too easy to keep watching.
Right. So we need to be just as deliberate about designing our digital environment as our physical one.
Okay, so wrapping this up. Yeah. It's about working with our nature, not against it. Reduce friction for good habits, add it for bad ones. Prime your space. Use that 2-minute rule to just start and automate where you can.
That's the core of it. Simple principles, but really powerful when you apply them.
All right, so here's a challenge for you listening. 2 things this week. First, pick one new habit and apply the 2-minute rule. Just commit to the tiny 2-minute version for 7 days, see how it feels. Second, automate one thing. Find one decision you can make now that removes future effort. Maybe it's that bill payment, maybe deleting an app, just one thing.
And maybe think about this. Look around at the systems in your life, digital and physical. Are they sort of nudging you towards your goals or away from them? What's one small change you can make to your environment today that makes things effortlessly better for your future self?
Okay, so we all know this feeling, right? Why are good habits just so hard to start? And bad habits, they just seem to stick around forever.
It's a common struggle, definitely.
We've already dug into the first 3 laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy. And they're brilliant, for getting you to actually do the thing this one time.
Right. They increase the odds for now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for making habits truly last, for teaching your brain what's worth repeating, well, there's been a missing piece.
And that brings us to the 4th law. Make it satisfying. This is the one that really cements a habit for the long haul.
This is where it gets super interesting, I think. The cardinal rule of behavior change. Have you heard this?
Lay it on me.
Basically.
Yeah.
What gets rewarded immediately is repeated. What gets punished immediately is avoided. Simple as that.
Yes. And that's pure brain science. We are just fundamentally wired for that immediate feedback loop. It's survival, almost.
So it ensures we do it again.
Precisely. Think about toothpaste. Why do we really brush? Is it the long-term goal of preventing cavities months or years down the line?
Probably not, no. It's that clean, minty feeling right now.
Exactly. That immediate little reward, it clicks the whole habit loop shut. You see the toothbrush, that's the cue. You crave the clean feeling. You brush, the response, and boom, reward. Fresh breath.
And that tells the brain, hey, that was good. Log that.
You got it. It teaches the brain which actions are valuable and worth remembering, worth repeating.
Which kind of explains this mismatch we feel, doesn't it? We're basically running ancient brain software.
In a totally modern world. Yeah. Our brains came up in an immediate return environment. You hunt, you eat, you see danger, you run. Instant cause and effect.
But now, we live in this delayed return environment. Your paycheck comes monthly. Fitness results take weeks, months. Saving for retirement takes decades.
And that creates this time inconsistency. It's just a natural bias towards what feels good right now. Instant gratification wins.
So good habits, they often have that immediate cost-like effort, or saying no to something fun for a reward way off in the future.
While the bad habits, they flip it. Immediate pleasure, maybe a sugar rush or zoning out online. But the cost comes later. Health problems, wasted time.
So the trick isn't to fight our nature, but to work with it.
Exactly. We need to somehow bring a little bit of that future reward into the present moment. Give ourselves a taste of success right away.
Okay, practical time. How do we do that? Strategy 1 you mentioned is reinforcement, using an immediate reward.
Yeah, making the completion of the habit feel good instantly.
I love that example of the couple saving for a trip. Instead of eating out, they cooked at home. Okay, good habit.
But here's the satisfying part.
Right after cleaning up, they'd transfer, say, $50 into a special trip to Europe savings account, and then they'd spend 5 minutes looking at pictures of Italy.
See? Instant reward linked directly to the desired long-term outcome. Cooking equals Europe fund boost plus dreamy pictures. Very satisfying.
But there's a catch, right? The golden rule of rewards.
Crucial point. The reward has to actually reinforce the identity you're trying to build, not clash with it.
So rewarding a tough workout with, like, a giant slice of cake, maybe not the best alignment.
Probably sends a mixed message to your brain. But rewarding it with a healthy protein smoothie you enjoy, or maybe a relaxing bath, that aligns with being a healthy, self-caring person.
Okay, that makes sense. The external rewards are kind of like training wheels.
Exactly. They get you going until the intrinsic rewards, feeling stronger, having more energy, just enjoying the activity itself, start to kick in and become the main driver.
Does the reward always have to be something you buy or consume, though?
Absolutely not. That's strategy too. Non-material rewards. The key is just genuine, immediate pleasure. It doesn't need a price tag.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, maybe you finish a really draining work task. Your reward could be listening to just one favorite song, start to finish. Or after meditating, just taking a moment to acknowledge the effort, feel the calm.
Or calling a friend after a tough conversation.
Perfect. These little moments of self-acknowledgement or pleasure act like evidence. They're little votes you cast for becoming the kind of person who handles tough tasks or prioritizes well-being.
I like that votes idea. Okay, another thing that feels really good is just making progress, seeing that you're actually getting somewhere.
Oh, hugely satisfying. And the simplest way to tap into that is habit tracking.
Just marking it off on a calendar, in a notebook, an app, whatever works.
Yeah.
That visual proof right there.
It leverages that don't break the chain idea. You know, the Jerry Seinfeld method for writing jokes every day.
Right. Put a big X on the calendar each day you do it.
And after a few days, you have a chain. And your only job becomes, don't break the chain. The chain itself becomes motivating, becomes the reward.
It's actually pretty brilliant because tracking hits multiple laws at once. It makes the cue obvious. Oh, right, I need to mark my X. Seeing the chain grow makes it attractive.
Wow.
And marking it off.
Purely satisfying. Law 4 in action.
But life isn't perfect. We all slip up. We miss a day. Does that mean it's all over?
Not at all. And that's where the crucial follow-up rule comes in. Never miss twice.
Okay, explain that.
Look, missing one day is an accident. It happens. Forgive yourself, move on. But missing 2 days in a row, that's the start of a new habit, the habit of not doing it.
So the key is just getting back on track immediately. Don't let one slip become a slide.
Exactly. Rapid recovery is everything. Perfection isn't the goal. Consistency over the long run is. And ultimately, remember those external rewards, the tracking. They're scaffolds. They help you build. The real destination is when the habit becomes its own reward.
Intrinsically rewarding, tied into who you are.
Right. Like James Clear says, incentive starts a habit. Identity sustains a habit.
So maybe at first you need that little reward after going to the gym, but down the line.
The reward is a feeling of strength.
Yeah.
It's the stress relief. It's simply identifying as, I am someone who takes care of my body. That feeling is powerful.
Every time you perform the habit, it's like casting another vote for that identity.
Precisely. And acting in line with who you want to be, with your values. That's probably the deepest form of satisfaction there is. Law 4 is really the bridge from just doing something to truly being someone.
Okay, wow. That really ties it all together. So for everyone listening, let's make this actionable. 2 challenges based on Law 4.
Let's hear them.
First, become a tracker. Pick just one habit you're working on. For the next 30 days, track it. Simple calendar, app, whatever. Just mark it off. Focus on not breaking that chain, and definitely remember, never miss twice.
Good one. Simple, visual, satisfying.
Second, become a reward architect. Choose a habit you kind of struggle with. Design a small, immediate, identity-aligned reward you'll give yourself right after you finish it.
Okay, give an example.
Like maybe after you finally clear your email inbox, you let yourself listen to one awesome song, guilt-free. Or after you fold the laundry, you get 10 minutes of that podcast you love.
Nice. Tiny rewards, big impact on wiring your brain for success.
Absolutely. That power of immediate satisfaction, it's all about that cardinal rule. Make it feel good now.
Focus on that feeling of progress, of satisfaction as you cast those votes for who you're becoming.
So the real question to leave you with is, what small, satisfying reward can you build into your day today to reinforce the person you want to be? Think on that. And join us next time as we go even deeper into the core of it all, identity-based habits.
That's all for this episode of the Deep Dive Cast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you gained some valuable insights. Be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world's best ideas. Until then, keep learning and growing.